Hi guys, thanks for joining us again for some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb. We're excited to know that we have actually doubled our listeners since we started, and we're actually surprised because, it's been a very short time that we've been doing this. It makes us happy, and we're excited to have you guys here listening with us. And we do want to thank everybody who is sending emails in.
And for anybody just joining us, anytime you have any questions, comments, anything that you just want to throw out there, go ahead and send us an email at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com. And today we have Betsy in the studio with us today helping out.
And she is actually on break right now.
Oh, good. Yeah, good. I'm glad she's relaxed. All right.
Today, actually, as we've mentioned before, we're also Cane Corso Kennels. We are breeders of the Cane Corso. And we've had a few questions about our puppies, our breeding program, that type of thing. So we decided to talk about the Cane Corso itself. And one thing that we have been questioned about is the pronunciation of the name. I frequently just call it a Cane Corso, C-A-N-E Corso, and it's actually Cane Corso. The reason I don't pronounce it right is because usually if I say Cane Corso, people are like, what? So for most people, I just say Cane Corsos.
They seem to recognize that name.
Right. Yeah, when you say Cane Corso, I think they think you've been drinking or something. I don't know.
That's not right.
Yeah, she can't talk. What's going on? But anyhow, yes, we've been breeding for about 5 years now. We started purchasing our Cane Corsos about 7 years ago.
Yep.
8 years ago.
Yep.
So it's fairly new to us, and it's always a learning process, but so we just thought we would talk a little bit about the Cane Corsos and their history. Until the 1970s, they were actually somewhat rare. The Cane Corso was originally used they were actually the dogs of war, and they were used in the military. And as the need for military dogs kind of faded out, they were used for guardian dogs, for hunting, deer, wild boar, things along that line. And a lot of times a farm dog. And so that was kind of a shift from being a military dog to farm, but they are really kind of a multi-use dog. There are two different types of the Cane Corso. There's the traditional and the non-traditional. The traditional is actually what you would have gotten straight from Italy, and they are more of the Mastiff build. They're heavier boned, bigger heads.
More skin.
They're muscular and shorter and stockier. And in the 1980s, they came over here to the United States, and the people over here felt that there was too small of a gene pool. So they started to implement some other breeds into the breeding programs. A couple that they used pretty often were Great Danes and Boxers. And it just helped create a larger gene pool and build the breed up itself. So, when you're looking for a Cane Corso and you have an interest in actually owning one, it's good to know the difference between the traditional and the non-traditional. At Cane Corso Kennels, we have 3 males that are intact that we use for our breeding program. And we have Yazzie, Ziggy, and Zeus. And Yazzie and Ziggy are actually more the traditional build of Cane Corsos, and Zeus would be the more non-traditional. With the traditional ones, Yazzie and Ziggy are just very heavy built. They're very filled out. They both are right around the 140 pound range, and Neither one is exceptionally tall. I mean, I think we're a little bit
Immune.
to size.
Yeah.
Because we've always had large breed dogs in our family. The Great Pyrenees, Irish Wolfhounds, anything larger breed we've been partial to. But they are big, but not as tall as Zeus, who would be more non-traditional. And he's very long-legged and a little lighter boned.
My preference is more along the traditional, a little bigger build.
Heavier boned.
Heavier. Hold on. I would say Yazzie and Ziggy are probably my preference in build for this type of dog. Zeus is a very beautiful dog. He's got a very nice build, and
he is spring loaded. Zeus is.
He's got a lot going on, that guy.
He's very agile, long-legged. I mean, it takes 3 strides to run across the exercise area.
He's like a deer.
A gazelle.
Just jumping across the dang yard.
But he is beautiful. He's a fawn, and we love him very much. He's got a lot of energy, but he is more non-traditional.
Yazzie and Ziggy would probably rather sit and hang out with you on the couch, maybe watch a movie with you.
Follow you around the yard while you're doing yard work.
Yep, they just want to be your buddy.
Yeah. Zeus is a little bit busy and doesn't necessarily want to just hang out with you. You know, it's interesting when we do breed these males, what we've found is that we don't really get dogs that are a combination. It seems as though the puppies that come out are either like the mom or the dad. So it's not really a often, but more like one or the other. So it's kind of a little bit of a bummer. I kind of like to see some long-legged, thick guys, but we usually get either the ones like Zeus or the ones like, you know,
Ziggy and Yazzie.
Yeah, so, but all of them are absolutely beautiful. It's kind of a matter of preference, really.
Our last litter was Zeus is the dad.
Yeah.
And they have a little extra to them than the other litters we've had.
Well, it's actually kind of funny because, I mean, they literally, I swear they got springs on their paw pads because they can just bounce straight up and down, up and down, and up and down. And when they run through the yard, it's like a full body run. They just are on go.
Which that's a new experience for us.
It is.
So
it is. We've actually only had Zeus for has it been a
little
over a year?
Yeah.
So we're learning a lot about the high drive version.
Yeah,
of
more
the
non-traditional type.
Absolutely. He's just a really beautiful dog. Actually, you can look at any of our dogs on Facebook at Cane Corso Kennels.
Take a look at that gazelle. Huh?
we don't have any action shots, but we can't quite catch him.
You need you might as well just take a video of him.
But yeah, well, you know, the Cane Corso really actually has been used for tracking, which goes back to them hunting for boar and deer and other large game. The agility, you know, that would be a dog with high drive like Zeus that is really on the go. And then also scent work, which I do not have any dogs really that I deal with that do that, but that is something that they have been used for.
If you have a mouse problem, get one of these guys. They probably
We have seen them take after a mouse, yes.
Yeah.
Also, you know, when you're considering this breed of dogs, it's good to take into consideration the life expectancy. You know, the bigger the dog, the shorter the lifespan. You know, the English Mastiffs do not live as long as the Cane Corso. The Cane Corso is actually the smallest of the Mastiff breed. He is an Italian Mastiff, and they do have a little bit longer life expectancy because of that. That is one thing I like about them, because it just makes me sad if my dogs are dying every 6 years. So
It's not enough time. Even 9 to 12 years, which is their average life expectancy, is not, doesn't ever seem like enough time.
it really doesn't. And you know, if you love your time with your pet, it's just the downside to loving animals. They just don't live that long. But it is better than, an even bigger dog that has the shorter lifespan. And it's hard to even say, I try to figure out the right size for the males, because like I read on the males and the females, actually I should say, and they give these sizes, and like the females are supposed to be like 23 to 26 inches at the back, and mine are bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
And my males are definitely bigger. They're supposed to be 25 to 26 inches at the back, and that is also quite a bit smaller. Even than Yazzie and Ziggy are
A little shorter.
They're shorter, but they're taller than that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And the weight range that we've seen out there, as far as facts, we'll say, really are kind of off as well.
yeah, and I don't know if that has to do with, back in the day when they started breeding them, that was more the standard for them, or I don't really know where that comes from. Or are my dogs big? I don't know. I don't think so. I think mine are pretty average for that breed.
And does it, is it that the information varies so much that it's just hard to kind of pin down an exact number for anything?
Yeah, it definitely could be the information, but our dogs typically, the females run right around 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I have mine vet checked on a regular basis, and of course, as a breeder with multiple dogs, I do measure out their food so their weight stays pretty consistent. So you could say maybe 90 to 110 pounds for a female, and then my boys all are hanging right in the 140 pound range. But that is also a little bit high, and none of them are fat. They're very lean dogs. So. If you're thinking in terms of getting one, not only is the life expectancy something to consider, but also, do you have
room
for a large dog? Do you have yard space?
Time, even.
Yeah. So, it's good to consider their size as well. I actually had a Great Pyrenees many years ago, and the people I got her from told me that they thought when they bought her she was going to be a small dog.
Mm.
So they were rehoming her because she had gotten quite large. And I thought that was really funny, because obviously this gal did not research her breed. So that was Lucy, and we had her back when my kids were growing up. But it's good to research the breed that you're looking at. And, I love Cane Corsos. Tori loves Cane Corsos. But not everybody does, and it's not a good fit for everybody. So it's good to know your facts when it comes to picking out a dog.
With this breed too, they are fairly indifferent to other dogs and strangers. They can be, that's not saying that they're bad or not friendly. It just means they're more about their owner. They're very protective. They are definitely guard dogs. So they're all about their person, their home, their family. So
and they're very attuned to their owner's emotions and feelings. So it's that really strong bond that, some people might be annoyed that they don't socialize quite as easily. That has to be started at a very young age to make that really happen with this breed of dogs. But because they are so loyal and so connected with their owners or families or both, They just don't have any interest in anybody else.
And Yazi is actually a really good example of that too, because he not only is he very much a guard dog and connected with you, but he's very good in public, even if he's unsure of a person or another dog.
Well, when he is unsure, you don't really want to coddle your dog when they're afraid or unsteady, unsure. But what I've noticed with Yazi is I read his body language, and what he'll do when he's uncomfortable with somebody is he just turns and looks at me and sits down as if, he's focusing more on me than what's happening around him. And actually, I'm quite proud of Yazi. He is my oldest male, and I believe he is actually Ziggy's dad. I'd have to look at paperwork to be 100% accurate because we've had a few litters. But he is very, very typical Cane Corso. He is confident, he is assertive, and he is actually a very patient dog. He is calm. The only thing I can say about him is he doesn't like people bothering him when he's asleep.
Yeah, well, me neither.
Yazi doesn't bite. I'm not sure about Tori though.
Well, I'm more like a Chihuahua than a Cane Corso.
Yeah. Well, actually, it just occurred to me I had sold a puppy, to a family that was local to me. And I think I mentioned to you about Roscoe.
Oh, yep.
And they had gotten the puppy in the kind of the late winter, I would say. And during that time and over the summer, that dog bonded with this family so strongly. They had 3 young kids. I believe they were 10 and under.
Yes.
And the man who purchased the puppy from me told me that in the fall, when the kids had to get on the bus to go to school, Roscoe actually boarded the bus with the children.
He was going to school.
I guess it took a few harsh lessons to teach him that he could not go on the bus. But he wanted to be with those kids so bad.
They were taking the kids.
And the bus driver was amused by the dog slobbering on the other children as he was going down the aisle to be with his family.
That's one of my favorite parts about these dogs is just how great they are with kids and family. Once they really bond with you, that you are theirs in the best way. Not necessarily a possessive way, but...
Well, when we have people coming to our kennels to purchase a puppy, I do an application process. I know some people are a little annoyed by it and feel like I'm kind of getting into their business. But the reason I do that is because I want to really focus on whether those people are committed to having a dog for its life, or is it kind of a whim kind of thing where they're, let's get a Cane Corso.
Yeah, it's 6 months later. Oh, I don't have time. I'm bored with it. It's too hard.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. So we always try to make sure that when we place a puppy, we go through a series of questions to make sure that the individuals purchasing the puppy are going to stay with that puppy for its life. It's just really something we focus on for the benefit of the puppy, but also the family. I mean, really, is it good for a family to have a dog and then not have a dog and then have a dog and not have a dog? I don't really think so.
Well, and having a little bit of a conversation about things and going over those questions gives you an idea to be able to find a good fit, what puppy's personality might go best in whatever situation they have.
Exactly. Even like when we have bred Zeus, when we looked at that litter of puppies, we had to kind of determine, the ones that were little high drive like Zeus or more low keyed like their mom Elsa. And what we do when we ask those questions is we want to know things about the family, like, Are there small children? Are there, teenage children? Are there children at all?
Are you in town? Are you in the country?
Do you have access for them to, burn off some of that extra energy? And we can help. Of course, we want people to, like the look of the dog, but we also want people to let us help them pick one that fits their situation. I would not put certain puppies with someone that has newborn babies or, toddlers, because that's just kind of an accident waiting to happen. Not that it would be the dog being vicious or terrible in any way, but more for the fact that they wag with their whole body, really.
Well, and that's not trying to tell anybody what they should and shouldn't do, but yeah, there are dogs that'll knock you over because they love you. Okay.
It's called killing you with kindness.
Yes, and these guys, they do that.
They do. They love you to death. But so we always ask questions to make sure that the puppies are placed in the right environment, and that's what you want for your own family as well. They do. And now, one thing I always love to talk about with Tori is talking. Tori talks to her dogs, and these are great dogs for her because they're very vocal, and they do, I don't know, I think they kind of sound like a Sasquatch.
Well, we're having a conversation, okay?
Uh-huh.
We're talking about things.
Right.
Okay.
So, for those of you like Tori that like to talk to your pets, I mean, they're a great dog for that because they do respond to you.
You're not talking to nobody.
No.
Okay? They got something to say back.
No. So that's they aren't always big barkers. There are a few that do bark, but they aren't big barkers, but they do make some
interesting noise.
Yeah, they do.
Chewbacca, it's, a good reference.
It's kind of it doesn't really sound like a dog. Sometimes my dogs are outside having their time out, and I'll hear something at the door that sounds kind of like, I'm not really sure what the sound is, but it is not a bark.
It's not a dog.
Not a dog sound, but they do let you know they want in.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. I try to play with the dogs, which mine are more on the lounge with you type personality and disposition.
So they're couch potatoes.
We like it that way.
Yeah.
But when we do want to do something, I often, I think, hey, let's play fetch. No. Okay, they're not gonna. And here comes the sass, too, because they're going to tell me they're not gonna.
They are going to tell you that they are no golden retriever.
And they do, in all those words.
Yeah. Well, the first dog I bought, actually the first, as I may have mentioned, Floki is my first Cane Corso.
Our main man.
And he is not really correct, but he is a neutered male, and he's just wonderful. And I remember when I first got him, I went out in the yard to play with him, and I threw a ball, and he just stood there and looked at me, and then looked at the ball and looked at me like he wanted me to go get the ball for him.
Why'd you do that? Now you gotta go get it.
So I called the breeder I got him from, and I said, hey, this dog doesn't fetch. And she started chuckling and said, no, they don't fetch. So if you want a dog that's going to, play Frisbee and fetch with you, these might not be the ones. Now, that's not to say they don't all.
I've seen one of them.
Yeah.
I've seen one do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it lasted, but
well, we've seen quite a few of them now, and so in that amount, she's seen one that fetches. So.
This is
that gives you an idea how, and they are playful, but they just do not fetch.
Yeah. It's the one thing they just, how dare you think I'm going to go get that?
And I would bet Tori and that dog had a conversation about it.
Yeah, we did. And then I had to go get the ball.
So she lost that one.
I did.
Anyhow, so yeah, we just wanted to share some information about the Cane Corso.
We recommend the breed 100%.
Yeah, we just really enjoy them. I mean, I think even the high strung ones, the high drive Cane Corsos, they love to just lay on the couch with you.
They do. My son, who's 10, I mean, he is the safest, most cuddled child around because he's got them, cuddling with them on the couch. If he's on the floor, they're laying with him there. They sleep with him at night. I mean,
yeah,
just amazing, amazing dogs.
Yeah, we just they really need to be around kids when they're younger. I can't say they need to be, because if they haven't been exposed to them, you can teach them, but they're just so big that they tend to knock little ones over. We dock the tails, so that is one thing. They don't get whacked in the face with the tail, but they're just so big that they kind of tend to be, even with me. I mean, I can be out in the yard. Sometimes I have to have a rake in my hand when Zeus is out there, and I kind of like deflect him every time he goes zipping by.
They'll run by and just want to slightest bit of attention, so they, spin in a circle in front of you and knock into you without even, realizing that they've gone into your bubble.
Right. And Ziggy, he's one that, from the neck back wags his entire body.
The whole thing moves.
So, I mean, you just, it's not that they're bad with kids. They're excellent. I've seen so many posts and pictures of, we had a puppy Tango that went to live with a family, and this family had the tiniest little girl.
She was tiny.
And they would send us pictures of her with this 100-pound puppy, and Tango has a massive head, and this little tiny girl would be with him, and I just thought it was adorable, because he just seemed to, that's the thing, is they seem to understand that with kids they can't be running at 100% around them. They have to take it down a notch.
Yeah, she was about as big as his head.
Yeah, well,
I mean, she was, and he was, he loved that little girl too. You could tell that. Giant stuffed animals for your children.
Another nice thing about them, now I won't say that a Cane Corso does not shed, because they do. But in the past I have had Huskies and Great Pyrenees, and shedding is considerably less, and the maintenance is quite a bit less as well. So just the overall work of taking care of them is a little bit less.
I have my Shiba Inu. I'm constantly having to brush him out, and as much as the other dogs enjoy being brushed out, is definitely not necessary for him.
No.
So
it's not a need as often. So yeah, that's another benefit to the Cane Corso.
I'm all about less grooming myself.
Well, and really, I mean, life is so busy. I mean, both Tori and I, we each have jobs, and then we have other things that we do on the side here to make ends meet, and you just don't have time to,
put that effort into such an
expense to put into it.
Yes.
So that's
and if you do, that's great.
Well, and some people, that's kind of part of what they, their day is, and they enjoy that. So for folks that are a little less busy, I mean, they might enjoy the extra time put into grooming, and it's kind of a bonding thing for them too, and that's great for the people that enjoy doing that. Uh, I, however, am not a huge fan of the extra grooming efforts.
I don't like to have to make sure I lint roll every time I leave the house or make sure I have one in my car, which isn't exactly grooming, but that goes kind of along with it. Just the maintenance of everything, and I'm more of a short-haired dog person myself.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like, I know this is going to sound like I'm a hater, and I'm not. But it's kind of like having a cat around when you got to do all that grooming. So,
Yeah,
I know. I know it's not nice
cats
to
are
say.
great.
For somebody.
Not me.
Anyhow, so when you are picking a new pet, or whether it's a rescue or a puppy, you might want to just do a little research on it. There's things that, sometimes we'll be reading on Cane Corsos and you think you know it all, and then one little fact pops up that you didn't even know about. So it's good to research anything that you're going to be including in your family, whether it's a cat or a dog. And this is what we know about the Cane Corso, and we really enjoy this breed.
They're my favorite. I would recommend them every time. I don't think I have anything bad to say about them personally. It's just a good thing to make sure that you're getting them trained when they're a little bit younger, so that they're, if there are issues that they need to, figure out, they can do it before they're 110 pounds.
Right.
um,
And they just need consistent and firm training, and it's always best to start young.
if you have kids, you can include them in it. Sometimes I talk to my son about helping out with certain things, doing small things like having them sit, just so that there's that bond between them too, and they learn to listen to him as well.
Well, and that's good too. I mean, obviously you're the person in charge as the, adult in the home, but really the dog should respect the kids as well. You don't want them getting injured or, getting into their food when they're sitting there munching away. The kid should be able to say, hey, get down or off or whatever. But also it's important, in my opinion, to teach the kids to be respectful of the dogs as well, to not be hard on them, not jump on them. And I know there's some people that feel that it's a good thing to build the dog's tolerance, but actually I think it's about kind of respecting the dog as well.
And that's very true. I've had to teach my son, when he was younger, he would lay on the dogs, and it's cute and they're cuddling, and you just don't really think, oh, well, they shouldn't do that. But the kids get bigger. They're gonna, accidents do happen, and that's not fair to the dog to possibly react to something like that. And
right, if they would get pinched or a foot stepped on and they would react negatively, it comes back looking bad on the dog. So it's just best to teach your kid to,
be aware at the very least.
And some level of handling the dog as well. So
yes.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
So that is our Cane Corso talk. Have any introductory music?
Oh, yes. Well, and that is necessary. You have to have a good introduction song.
Yeah. I mean, think about all the TV shows, what they would sound like if they didn't have any music.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not in charge of that, because it would be out of control.
Well, I was thinking that since we're on that learning curve of technology,
yeah,
I was thinking about asking people to email their ideas in.
I like it. I want to hear.
Yeah, so I would love to have some input on what people think that we should do for some introductory music.
I think that's an excellent idea. I'd like to hear, what's your opinion? Let's hear it. What you got?
Yeah, just go ahead and email us any ideas you have for music. It is realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com. And if you have any other questions or comments, again, send them to us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
We'll be checking that daily to look for questions and comments, all that good stuff. And all right, well, we want to thank you guys for joining in again for some more Real Talk Dog Talk, and we can't wait to have you back again next week for another Real Talk Dog Talk.
Have a good week.
Bye.